Okay, guys, time for breakfast. Come on, big yo-yo. Come on, big girl. Let mama in. Hi, sweets. You guys hungry? Guys want some food? All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. Come on. Come on, no pushing. Come on. Let's go, no pushing.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to our homestead. I just finished feeding all the animals. It's a cool and windy day, mid-October in New England, and I know that my days are getting short and I have to get my garden cleared out. So today, I'm going to be clearing things out of the garden that are cold temperature sensitive, especially because we're expecting 36 or 37 degrees later on tonight. So I need to go ahead and pull all my crops out of the garden that I know that are sensitive to the cold weather. Couple of things will not mind staying until the real frost. The beets, the carrots, they can stay in the ground for much, much longer. As a matter of fact, even all the way to the snow, and you just have to dig through the snow to pull them out. But I know that the soil will freeze, and then harvesting from a frozen ground is very difficult. So I'm not going to do that. So, and also that would require me covering them with straw, which I don't want to bother with. So that's why I am just going to be harvesting as many things as I can. So I'm going to go after my kale. The kale has to come out. All of my winter squashes, they have to be harvested. I'm going to pull all of the bell peppers, hot peppers. That's done. And then I'm going to check on the beets and carrots, and I'm going to check to see if I want to harvest some and if I want to leave some on the ground all the way to Thanksgiving, because it is possible for us. We don't really get very, very, very heavy frost and snow, and hopefully we won't get frost and snow. I'm going to keep the beets and the carrots in the ground. Okay. So, but I also want to mention to you what I'm going to and show you what I want to do with the soil as well, because soil does not like to be empty. So I'm going to try to show you what I'm going to do and how I'm going to prep my fall garden to get ready for the winter. So come along into my garden. So in this patch, I've had things growing like spaghetti squash and winter squash, but then I had a confusion of some sort, and these weird squashes grew in my garden as well. I need to look up the name of them. So I harvested a couple of them. I see the rabbit or the squirrel's been nibbling this one, so it's not going to store well at all. I'm going to cut it and I'm going to give it to the chickens, this one. Some of them went bad and I need to throw them completely to the chickens. So yeah, what's the name of this bad boy? Do you guys know what it is? How do you call this one? It looks like a pie of some sort, like a squash pie or something. So I'm gonna harvest my winter squashes, and I need to cure them and get them ready for storage. The curing process involves them being removed from the garden, and I'm going to keep the stems on, because when the stem is on, I know that they will store a little bit better than if there is no stem. And I'm going to make sure they're nice and clean and not damaged. And I need to put them in a very well ventilated place for about a week or two, preferably with some humidity and heat, about 75, 85 degree temperature and a humidity, and allow them to cure, meaning that the skin needs to get a little hard and tough to protect them. And then after that, I'm going to put them in my basement where it's nice, cool, and dry, and on a shelf just like this. And that's how I'm going to store them for the winter months. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab one or two and cook dinners out of them. For example, this definitely needs curing. It's not ripe all the way and the stem is still green, but I have to harvest them. where this one is a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more ready for storage because the stem is even drier, but this stem is still green. Definitely needs time for curing before storage. Otherwise, it's going to be very not sweet for sure. It's not going to be very sweet. So it needs a little time for curing. Okay. So I don't know if you guys can even see the difference between these two. This one is more brighter orangey color and this one's still pale. It needs more time, but it's already too cold and we're expecting cold temperature. So I want to take them off the ground now. Unfortunately, this is not ideal. Do you see how the stem broke off? This is not going to store for a very long time. So I'm going to give it a good clean and I'm going to bring him in the kitchen and I'm going to cook him up quickly in the next few days because the stem is off, it's not going to store well. So any damage anywhere or if the stem is gone, these guys are not ideal for long-term storage. All right. The sun is already going down. I can't believe how fast, how short the days are now in New England in October. So it's going to get dark much sooner. So I got to keep working fast. All right. Done. The wheelbarrow of all of my winter squashes are here. So let me show you again. So this one, it's a spaghetti squash. See how it's quite pale? It really is not as well seasoned as this guy. See what I mean? So this one needed more time to ripen, or I'm going to attempt to season him a little bit more. Again, same as the winter squash. It needs humid temperature and hot for about a week or a week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks. And then all of these guys are going to go on a shelf with very good ventilation, cool and dry, like my basement. 55, 60 degrees, and that's where it's going to sit in my basement for the winter. And then we're going to be eating this very beautiful, nutritious, calorie dense, but yet very high in fiber and many, many wonderful minerals and vitamins in the winter months. Yes, we should be eating seasonally, and this is an example. Grow your food for your family for a year. This is what we're doing here, growing food for a family for a year. Beautiful. Look at these guys. Aren't they gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. I need to make sure they're nice and clean. I'm just going to wipe them a little bit so they're nice and clean and no dirt on them when I put them for storage. This is it. Next stop is going to be bell peppers. These poor guys are still blossoming. Oh, I feel so bad. No, I need to harvest all of these peppers now because I know they're going to freeze. They are temperature sensitive. They don't like cold. So even though seemed like they're still blossoming and if this was earlier in the season, they would have been still producing, but it's too late. I gotta come and take all of these hot peppers, sweet peppers, bell peppers, purple peppers, and they all have to come down. All right, so I'm going to be harvesting all of them. And you might notice that I still have some huge cucumbers on the ground over there. Those are my seed cucumbers. I left them be just like this for a reason, so they can turn yellow like this, because these guys are going to be for seeds for next year. That's what I do with cucumbers that I like. I save them for seeds. So we have our own seeds. Same thing with zucchinis. Okay, so all of the peppers have been harvested. I pulled all of the pepper plants out. There's a gigantic big pile over here. Now what to do? Now this bed does not like to be empty, bare empty for the winter months. It needs to be protected somewhat. So either we can put some sort of mulch on it, or we can sow a winter cover like mustard seed. That's what I've done last year. I planted a mustard seed. But I feel like this year is a little bit too late for me to sow it because it's probably not going to germinate. It's a little too cold already. So what to do? So this is what I'm going to do. I have this big pile of peppers. They're not going to go to waste. Yes, the goats love to eat them, but I'm going to give some of it to the goats, but the rest I am going to chop off the roots because the roots are going to go in a compost pile, but the rest of these plants are going to go to you. So let me show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so I need to move this out of the way. So this vegetable bed is empty. I'm going to cut off, as I've mentioned, all of these roots because the roots we do not need. Okay, hopefully I can, let me see if I can just break, yeah, breaking off is actually easier, all right? And we're gonna be using these greens, but the roots have to come off. So for this entire bed, I need to put down an antifungal something to protect the soil from fungus. So I have this little trick, okay? Can you guys see this? It's called, I think hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, trichoderma for plants. And basically what it is a probiotic. You can sprinkle it straight onto the soil around the roots. And for fall and winter garden, it's recommended to be applied every 4 to 8 weeks. Well, I don't think I have more than 8 weeks, so I'm gonna do this. Or we can make a compost tea. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna open this package and I'm gonna sprinkle it a little bit all over this vegetable bed, and then I'll show you my next trick. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of this powder because it does look like powder, just like this. I'm not really measuring anything. I'm just sprinkling a little bit, okay? So this is going to help with the health of the soil, okay? It's going to help to maintain healthy microbiome of the soil, prevent fungus, okay? So that's what's going first, okay? If the soil was very dry, I would just take out the water hose and just sprinkle a little water on top. But in my case, the soil is very moist. All right, and then I'm gonna take this plant and I'm just going to break it apart and I'm gonna throw it on top of the soil just like this. Not the big stems, okay? Those I can give to my goats to eat. But I'm just gonna break them off. If you like, you can take something sharp, like, I don't know, let me see, I have something here. You can take something sharp like this and just chop them as well, okay, to break them up into smaller pieces. I have to be careful because I have my irrigation system here. I don't want to puncture it accidentally. That will not be good. So I'm just chopping them up a little bit, and I'm gonna keep doing with all of my plants this way, okay? And so this will break down over winter months, okay? And it's gonna be a natural composting cover. And by springtime, trust me, all of this will break down and it's going to protect my soil and it's going to feed my soil at the same time. I like to do the same thing when I harvest all of my beans, my green beans. My green beans, I actually leave the roots in the soil over winter because it feeds the soil with very beautiful nitrogen. Okay, so I'm just breaking it up and throwing it on the ground just like this. Okay, one note I want to add is that if these plants were diseased, full of fungus or some other God knows what for infection, I would not be doing this. Okay, I would not absolutely do this at all. I would remove these plants and discard them. But because these plants are super healthy, I don't mind putting them back into the soil to break down over winter months as my crop cover, as my ground cover for the winter months, and it's going to feed as well. So again, I would not use this unless it was only healthy.
All right, let's talk about beets. So some of these greens are in really good shape, and I can preserve them to eat, put them in a soup or in a stir fry, but mostly in a soup. And then these big ones I'm going to be putting away for my storage. Some of them are still very little, and I can leave them in the ground for a little longer. They have more time, I think, and they're not going to be afraid of the first frost. They're going to be fine in the soil. But some of them I will definitely go ahead and harvest today and put them away. If you're interested to know how I store beets without refrigeration and without root cellar, I can link up a video how I store it in the sand. So that's one of my methods how I store beets and carrots. I'm going to put up the link to the video right now, so keep an eye on the top of the screen somewhere. I'm going to be harvesting the last of my turnips as well. Look how beautiful they are. The tops are a little rough, so I'm going to give them to the chickens and to my goats to eat, and they're going to enjoy them. But these beautiful turnips, the turnips are going to go into storage as well. They're a great substitute as far as potato, with but much lower on a carbohydrate level. So these turnips are going in a storage as well. This is our beautiful harvest of winter squashes. So thank you, Lord, for providing for our family. We're going to store this away and eat up during the cold winter months. What a beautiful, beautiful harvest. All the prayers and hard work paid off. And I'm just going to bring in some of these root vegetables in the house as well. Some of the carrots. The rest of the carrots are still in the vegetable bed. They're not afraid of the frost. They can sit there. I've got turnips. I've got beets. Beautiful, beautiful harvest. And I have a full bucket, 5-gallon bucket of different peppers. The garden essentially is empty. We need to finish cleaning it up, protecting it for the winter months, put a cover, ground cover of some sort. So this is our harvest, and we're very thankful. We prayed over this garden in the spring when we were sowing our garden. And I encourage you guys to do the same thing. Give all of this to the Lord. So I give him all the glory as well. Thank you for feeding my family. On this note, friends, I hope you are encouraged and try something new.